Hi, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria Aura, and I'm here to help you with your Planet Zoo franchise mode. So let's get into it. I have started this Spring Has Sprung franchise mode, and we started with $40,000, and we did some very easy steps that allow you to get as much income as possible and as, at least 2 animals and 1 food station to start generating income for your zoo. That's going to be the best thing that's going to be helpful for franchise zoos. Right off the bat, I always delete the main entrance that is given to me from the load-in. Then I always make a staff area to the left or the right, whichever feels good. It's all of the staff areas. I've even made them into a blueprint on the workshop. So that you can actually get it all down in one placement and see how expensive it's going to be for you to have those staff facilities be plain and simple, but gives you a good overview. So it's about 15 grand because I like budgeting a lot. So it's 15 grand for every single building, and it fits in a nice little square section, and I always kind of spruce it up after, depending on like the theme of the zoo. So I always come in, I always make like a nice little entry area. Normally I have like a ticketing area here, a lot of educational things as well. Having your education up will attract more people to your zoo, will give you a higher rating on your zoo. See, I want to get everything to 3 stars before I start marketing, because if you spend money on marketing and your stars aren't high enough, you're definitely going to get some backlash from some people. Now, I've been playing in this one for about, I want to say maybe like this is 6 hours worth of work, and I already am back to $40,000, which is great. That's a good turnover, and that's a great starting off point. Now, I always do 2 exhibits. You don't always have to do the fancy exhibits. You can start off simple. These are the ones from the conservation pack that I just dropped down. I think they're like 3 grand a pop. So then I always do the Goliath beetles. Because if you look at their social health, they have a lot of babies. And then once you've had them have babies and you get them to a place that's gold starred over here, like gold ribboned, what I do is I sell everything that's not a gold ribbon, because you will get a lot of like not great children, per se. I even might get rid of some of these gold ribbons too, because there's a lot of them. I might keep a male and a female just so they can procreate again. And I always try to check the ages as well. Like, look how young these ones are. So let's go with the younger ones instead. They'll live longer and they'll have more babies. Quick trade those, and I'm going to get 4 grand, almost 5 grand just from selling those babies. So that's our first money maker right there. Then also scorpions take a little bit longer, but you get a lot more money from them. We had a lot of girl scorpions, which kind of sucks, but I'm gonna get rid of this mama. I'm gonna get rid of all the ones that don't have the stars or have the ribbons. Quick trade, another grand. That's a lot of money, in a starting off zoo. I did an educational bee area over here. I'm gonna expand on that a little bit. But the scorpions are on this side, and the tropical stuff, the Goliath beetles are over here on this side. We wanted to go with a very like Spring Has Sprung, like English, Bridgerton vibes, and so that's kind of what we're continuing on. We just got finished making this staff area look really cute with the lattice and the cement building like we have over here that matches the water station or the juice station in the bathroom on this side, because I wanted a very, almost like plain building, but also have a little bit of flair and make it look very like natural. Now I started with peacocks because that was just kind of the English vibe we're going for. I went kind of simple on their enclosure. I mirrored the same covered area for them with I just stole this. Like, you can separate the enclosure and not have the exhibit in it at all, and just use the blueprint for a covered area for them, because they don't need a lot of coverage space. Now I think I'm going to be getting I need to start donating some of these guys as well. I like to do conservation on animals that aren't going to get me a lot of money. Um, and a lot of these guys aren't doing well because there's always going to be an alpha male, and then the other males don't do very well. So I'm always going to donate the other males just to get those conservation points. Conservation points are also another great way of getting people to come to your zoo. Now, I did a little water feature and I did all of their interactive toys. Now, I've played franchise enough so those things are going to be permanent unlocks for me. The water feature is absolutely not necessary. This is a waste of money in the beginning of your zoo, but I'm a streamer, so I have to kind of make it entertaining and also, I don't know, show off my skills a little bit of how I do certain things. But yeah, I did a very simple, like, raised enclosure. I love doing raised enclosures for smaller animals that can allow for this much exposure to the guests. These guys don't care. You could have a walking path through here if we wanted to, but they don't care. I really want to do a butterfly garden too, because the new exhibit areas now have butterflies available in them. I haven't done any of them yet, but I want to. Now, someone in chat suggested we do the African penguins. So the African penguins ended up being the second enclosure that we built. I went with like a sandy Mayan vibe over here just because I felt like it needed to feel like a ruin or some sort of castle that fell over or something like that, because it just didn't fit the vibe of like this woodsy magical garden kind of vibe. I wanted it to feel like England's little like revamped castle. Like they took a demolished ruin and made a beautiful enclosure out of it. Now the African penguins, they need a lot of sand and a lot of water, so I just gave them quite a bit. They don't need a lot of foliage, which is great. I do need to give them some bedding over here, so let's go into the nature section, or correction, the habitat section. And I love using the grassy patches for enclosures that don't have a very high like if they don't have a high foliage level, because then it still adds some greenery to the area without having to like kind of intrude on that number. Let's move the tree over a little bit. Their water station's over here. So this is part of the back half of the employee area. I also added this water station for purification for both locations. It's more so for this one, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, so then I was like, what would be so cool if there was like a little dock? Like if we came up here on the outskirts of the ruin and came up to a little dock with like an overlooking area and then maybe a food station. So that's what we did. We made there's a milkshake and a burger station right here. This is a pre-made kind of situation I've done on the workshop before. So I just kind of stole it. It's got a very like funny smiley face in the logo. I love that. Love unique looking things. They really make this game feel more like you're in control, which I really love that so much. I do love incorporating small green patches like this because I think it elevates your zoo quite a bit. Some of the things in franchise mode you need to remember to do is that if you don't have enough donation boxes, you're not going to get a lot of people donating, obviously. So what I always do is I always make sure that I have enough donation boxes by all of my educational sections. So this was also a workshop. Oh, we need a person come to work here. Let's just get, let's do another keeper and then another caretaker. Now that we have money, what I'm going to do first, before I start doing marketing and stuff, I'm going to start training my employees. Just because I'll need less employees, but I'll pay each employee more, but they'll be able to be able to do more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to educate all of them, and then I'm going to each give them a $10 raise. Just because I know that sounds like a lot, but when it comes to some of these high workloads, like you're going to need to. So the mechanicus feels like he's on a high workload. The security guard is on low workload. It's because he's got nothing to do. The vendors are exhausted though. So let's get some more vendors. We'll do 2 new vendors so they can have little breaks. You know, it's hard to be the only person doing the job. Let's get back on play. I did put my first energy thing here, which was part of this staff employee area. I love to kind of make hidden staff areas in my zoos. And then sometimes I like to put really obvious staff areas in my zoos. Just because I also put this other burger station here, which is a food truck, which I really love doing food trucks in this game. I think it's a really great way of utilizing like an ugly building or making a unique style building. Something I did want to do in sometimes... There we go. It gives just a little bit of a curve to it. It's not like the prettiest thing, but that's okay because I'm actually going to come in here and kind of give this area like a whole revamp of dirt. So yeah, that's pretty much how I start my franchise zoo. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. I'd love to answer some. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.